Green is good. Plants not only remove dust and pollutants from the air, but make oxygen for us to breathe and give us food to eat. Plants are green because of chlorophyll. Our environment today is filled with toxic chemicals, many of which are passed on from primary producers, or plants, to primary consumers, such as domestic animals, and then onto secondary and tertiary consumers, or carnivores. It would make sense then that the lower you go on the food chain, the less toxins you will absorb. Plants, being at the bottom of the food chain, not only have the lowest concentration of environmental poisons, but also apparently contain the means for eliminating many of them, one of which is chlorophyll. Research has shown that chlorophyll has numerous health benefits, including antioxidant and anti-carcinogenic properties, and products containing chlorophyll, such as chlorella and spirulina, can be readily bought over the counter. I think fresh is better, however, so I like to grow my own chlorophyll. It is not hard to do, nor expensive, and all you need are a few simple tools. One of the best ways to grow your own chlorophyll is by growing wheatgrass. Wheatgrass seeds, or berries as they are called, can be bought either from your local food cooperative or from an online retailer. Just be sure to buy seeds or berries that are chemical-free. Today I'm going to show you how to grow your own wheatgrass. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your greens. And remember, green is good. Okay, we've bought our wheat berries. Now what? Well, before we can grow our wheatgrass, we're going to need some homes for them to live in and some other equipment. Just follow along with the video and you'll see what I mean. I'm going to need some trays for the wheatgrass to grow in. About a half a dozen or so should do. I'm going to take some 8-foot long 1x2s, and I'm going to cut them into 4 2-foot sections. One of these 8-foot sections should make one tray. I've cut up the 8-foot long 1x2 into 4 2-foot sections. And now with these, I'm going to make a square. And to tie these together, I'm going to use some 1.5-inch corner brackets. Now I have my square made, and this square only cost me about $1.50 for the wood and a couple of dollars for the corner brackets. But it's going to need a bottom. You can use any kind of mesh for the bottom that you like, but I prefer to use window screen. And I like to recycle my old window screen, and all you have to do is put it on the bottom of the square and cut it to fit, and then just take a stapler and just staple the mesh to the bottom of the frame. I've put my mesh on the bottom of my tray, and I patched whatever holes I could find. So it doesn't look so good, but it's functional. And now this tray is finished. For one person, you're probably going to need 5 or 6 trays. Next, what you're going to need is a platform to put them on. Now you can set these directly on the ground, but you may have some problems with insects and other things getting into your grass. Now you can build any kind of platform you want for your wheatgrass. In my case, I built a platform which was attached to my patio outside my front door, so I could just go outside my front door and water my plants or harvest my plants anytime I wanted to. I just attached a little bit to my patio with some 2x4s, and I put some chicken wire on the top so the trays wouldn't fall through. When I put my trays on top and I water my plants, the water also goes underneath and waters some of my other plants underneath, so I could do 2 things at the same time. Now I have already built some trays previously, and all you do is put the trays on top like this, and they fit really well on top of the platform. And on my platform I can fit 4 in a row. To grow my wheatgrass, I'm going to need some dirt. I use a mixture of compost and potting soil, and you just put it into your flat like so. Smooth it out. And you're ready to go. All you need to do is put some water on it, and then put your seeds on top, and I'll show you how to do that next. I've put my flats conveniently next to my garden hose, so all I have to do is turn on my hose and water everything down. Now you can use paper towels to grow your wheatgrass, but it won't be nearly as nutritious as using dirt, but it can be done. The hardest part of all this is trying to get the right seeds. I got some wheatgrass seeds from my local co-op, and I'm going to use about 2/3 of a cup of wheatgrass seeds for 1 flat. I'm just going to put some water in it and stir it around a little bit to get it all wet, and I'm going to leave it for about 12 hours, and then I'll put it in the flats tomorrow. After letting the seeds soak for about 16 hours, I'm going to put them in the tray. I'm going to hose down the dirt one more time, and then I'm going to get my seeds, and I'm going to spread them on the dirt. Trying to get them evenly distributed in the dirt. Like so. And then I'm going to take a cover, in this case it's an old towel, I'm going to put it over the seeds to keep them out of the light, and then I'm going to hose it down one more time so that the towel is wet. Now I have placed my trays in semi-shade, so in the summertime it's not so bright and it won't dry out so quickly. And I'm going to let this sit for about 2 days, and then I'm going to take off the towel and go from there. I've covered the seeds for 2 days and kept the cloth wet. And now, after a couple of days, I'm going to take off the cloth and see what we have underneath. As you can see, the seeds have started to sprout. And now I'm going to leave it out in the sun until the grass gets to be mature. When the wheatgrass is about 6 inches long, it's ready for harvesting. All I need to do that is a pair of scissors and a container to put it in. Just grab the grass and cut it near the root. Take out any leaves or whatever that's in there and put it in the container, and continue on until you've finished the flat. Once you've finished cutting your flat and you have a container full of grass, you need to juice it up. Now you can get a second harvest of grass from this flat, but it won't be nearly as good as the first, so it's up to you whether you want to try for a second harvest or not. To juice my grass, I've attached a meat grinder to the railing of my deck and put a small container on it, and all I have to do is put the grass in the meat grinder and grind it up. And the juice will come out the other side. Now a lot of it's going to be pulp, which I'm going to have to strain later to get the juice out. From that one flat of wheatgrass, I have about a cup of pulp, which I'm going to strain to get the juice out. I just put the pulp in the strainer and press on it until the juice comes out. The residual pulp I'm going to put in the compost heap. And you can see the wheatgrass has come out of the pulp, and we'll see how much we get out of this one flat. Okay, from the cup of pulp, I've got about 3 ounces of wheatgrass juice, which doesn't seem like very much, but it is pretty concentrated and it's pretty strong stuff. So that is quite sufficient. After I've taken out my first squeezing, I like to put the pulp back into some water and re-soak it. This will give me some additional juice out of the pulp. Now you can soak this and re-squeeze it probably 2 or 3 times, though the juice will not be as potent as the first squeezing. This is the juice from the second squeezing. You can see it's not quite as dark as that from the first squeezing, but there's still a lot of chlorophyll in the juice. And as I said previously, you can probably do this re-squeezing 2 or 3 times before it's too weak to bother with. One thing I've noticed is if you grow your wheatgrass in shade or semi-shade, it's a little bit darker than it would be if you grow it in sunlight. This may be because the plants need to produce more chlorophyll to get the equivalent amount of energy they would have if they were grown in sunlight. So it's a little hint that you might want to grow your wheatgrass in shade or semi-shade to get more chlorophyll out of it. Now you can drink this chlorophyll straight, or you can mix it with other kinds of juice. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to mix it with some carrot juice, which I'm going to make myself. I'm going to be making my carrot juice in my juicer. Now, people used to make things that would last. I've had this juicer since I was a kid and it's never let me down. It's a really good juicer. Just put in your carrot. The juice comes out here and the pulp comes out here. And the pulp you can just take over to your compost heap. I'm also going to put some apple in it. You can put fruit or any other kind of vegetable in here that you want, like celery or radish. And when it's done, I'm going to mix it with my wheatgrass. One thing about raw foods is there's no cooking required, and so the cleanup is really simple. All I needed was some water to rinse these utensils off. Once you get your carrots juiced up, you're just going to have to strain them a little bit because it's got a lot of foam in it. See all the foam in the cup here. And once you've strained it, just add it in with the wheatgrass juice. The leftovers from the carrots I can put in my compost heap, and eventually I can reuse that in my future wheatgrass trays. I like to soak some wheat berries about once every 2 days. This gives me a consistent supply of wheatgrass, and I'm going to be soaking this next batch for about 8 to 10 hours, and eventually I'm going to be seeing a little bit of bubbling in the water here. That's actually the beginning of fermentation. Fermented foods are actually very good for you, so if I wanted to drink the water from my soaking, that would actually be very beneficial to my intestines, because fermented foods have a lot of bacteria such as acidophilus in them, which is actually very healthy for you. A lot of people will buy fermented foods like yogurt for their diets because yogurt has a lot of acidophilus and beneficial bacteria in them for you. But being a vegan, I do not eat yogurt or dairy products, so fermented foods like this is very beneficial for me. If you found today's video instructional and want to see more like it, then please subscribe to my channel, the address which you can see on the screen below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Green is good.